The conference room hummed with tension, the kind that made the hairs on the back of your neck rise. Colonel Mitchell leaned back in his chair, arms crossed, eyes narrowing with unmistakable arrogance. "Do you really think you're qualified to speak on this?" he sneered, glancing at Lieutenant Cassandra Hayes with a mixture of impatience and contempt. Cassandra's jaw tightened, but she stayed silent, a small, almost imperceptible smile brushing her lips. He didn't know. Not yet. She wasn't just any officer. She was the undercover general assigned to evaluate operations from the inside, and every word he dismissed would come back to haunt him. Before I tell you what happened next, tell me in the comments where you're rewatching from. I love knowing who's listening. Cassandra's mind raced as the colonel droned on, outlining what he considered proper procedures. The room smelled of stale coffee and polished wood. Dust motes floated lazily in the afternoon sunlight, filtering through the blinds. Every gesture, every condescending tone, sharpened her focus. She wasn't here to argue. She was here to observe, to measure, to wait for the exact moment to assert authority. The junior officers shifted nervously, exchanging glances. Some tried to hide smiles. Others avoided eye contact, sensing the silent storm in the woman before them. Cassandra's calm exterior masked the tension coiling inside her. Her hands resting lightly on the table, itched to take command, but patience was part of the plan. Each dismissive comment, state evidence that leadership sometimes needed to be seen in action rather than declared in titles. Colonel Mitchell laughed, dismissing a strategic suggestion Cassandra had offered minutes earlier. "You've only been here a few months. Let the experienced officers handle this." He didn't notice the subtle shift in the room's energy, the way the officers now leaned slightly closer, watching her with quiet anticipation. Cassandra inhaled deeply, feeling the weight of authority rippled beneath her calm exterior. Hours passed in this delicate dance. The colonel remained oblivious, smug in his certainty, while Cassandra noted every operational flaw, every misjudgment, every hesitation in his commands. The tension built invisibly, a taut wire stretched to its limit. Then came the call to the situation, requiring immediate strategic action. Enemy forces had breached the perimeter, and rapid decisions could mean life or death for the base and its personnel. Cassandra stood, her movements fluid, controlled. The room went silent. Even the colonel paused, confused by her sudden initiative. Her voice, steady yet commanding, cut through the tension. "Colonel, we need to redeploy units to the eastern flank and establish a secondary perimeter immediately. I'll coordinate the response teams. Timing is critical, every second counts." The room held its collective breath. Mitchell opened his mouth, perhaps to argue, to assert authority. But the certainty in Cassandra's tone made hesitation impossible. Officers snapped to attention, following her instructions without question. Phones rang, radios buzzed, and the room became a controlled storm of coordinated movements. As she directed operations, Cassandra's mind analyzed every report coming in. The enemy movements were predictable, if anticipated correctly. Soldiers moved like currents, tools and weapons striking in unison, each team synchronized under her guidance. Colonel Mitchell watched, frozen, as the plan unfolded flawlessly. His arrogance crumbled beneath the weight of her precision. He realized too late that the person he had dismissed repeatedly was orchestrating a seamless, decisive response. Moments later, the breach was contained. Enemy forces neutralized, perimeter secured, casualties minimized. Officers exchanged looks of astonishment, the whisper of admiration threading through the room. And then came the reveal. Cassandra removed her lapel insignia, revealing the subtle but unmistakable mark of a general. The room fell into stunned silence. Mitchell's mouth opened, then closed. Words failed him. His disbelief was palpable, a tangible energy pressing against the walls. You were," he stammered, realizing the full scope of his misjudgment. Cassandra simply nodded, a gentle but firm smile touching her lips. "I observe before I act. Guess. Experience isn't measured by arrogance. It's measured by results." The officers erupted into quiet applause, acknowledging not just the victory, but the lesson imparted in humility, patience, and strategic insight. Cassandra didn't revel in the colonel's discomfort. She reveled in the proof that effective leadership often comes silently through skill, intelligence, and measured action. Later, in the debrief, the colonel approached her with a new, restrained respect. "I misjudged you," he admitted, voice low, tinged with genuine humility. Cassandra's eyes softened, and she extended a hand. "It's not about judgment. It's about learning, adapting, and leading effectively. Everyone has a role, and the mission always comes first. Because true leadership doesn't demand recognition, it earns it quietly, deliberately, and with unwavering integrity." As Cassandra walked out of the conference room, the sunlight catching on her insignia, she reflected on the lessons learned: patience in the face of arrogance, observation over reaction, and the quiet power of expertise. The colonel had learned humility, the officers had learned respect, and the mission had been secured not by loud declarations, but by precise, intentional action. Even in the most dismissive environment, courage, intelligence, and quiet authority prevail. If this story inspired you, comment where you're watching from and how it made you feel. Subscribe to Whispered Words for more incredible true mission stories of courage, wit, and leadership under pressure.